Hey, what's up guys? So, Path of Exile just dropped so much info today. We're going to be taking a look at the new Path of Exile 2 gameplay preview. I'll give you guys my thoughts and reactions to that. Also looking at the new Metamorph, as well as Conquerors of the Atlas, and on top of that, PoE Mobile. But anyways, if you guys do want to watch it without my commentary, I'll have everything down below in the pinned comment section. But let's go ahead and check it out.
So today we're going to do a short demo of some of the content we have in this build of Path of Exile 2. We're starting here at about level 11, which is around halfway through Act 1. Right away as Jonathan plays with the graveyard, you're going to notice the massive improvements we've made to the Path of Exile engine since 3.0 was released. Environments, characters, and items all use physically based rendering, which gives the whole game a realistic look. We have new main character class models with all new animations and completely new item base types. Most of these have physics for many of the little details, which makes them a lot more awesome.
The game just looks so smooth. I think the camera seems a little bit zoomed out too.
A lot of work into updating the skill effects throughout Path of Exile. For example, when you fire a split arrow, you really feel the individual arrows because some stick in the walls and others bounce off realistically. The 4.0 campaign contains a variety of optional side quests that lead to meaningful boss encounters along the way. Very soon we're going to encounter Lachlan, an NPC who has lost his family.
So since you mentioned that they're level 11, I'm guessing you can start on Path of Exile 2 as a new character. So I was thinking we would have to bring our other characters to experience the new content.
Where are they? Isabel and the boys were only to be gone for a few minutes, but it has been, I don't even know how long. Hours at least. Days, weeks. What season is it? Stranger, I know we have just met, but I'm so worried about them. Around here, they could have fallen into a sinkhole or been choked by grave dust. Please, could you see to their safety?
Now, one thing I already noticed is...
The game has changed a lot more than just visually though. One of the things we've wanted to do for a really long time is to make fundamental changes to Path of Exile's skill system. The skill system in PoE is really cool and versatile. Personally, it's my favorite thing about the game, but there have always been some awkward things about it. We really wanted to find a way to address all of the shortcomings while not sacrificing even a single bit of the functionality that we already have. When you see the inventory here, you will notice something missing: all of the sockets on the items. This is because in Path of Exile 2, you no longer put gems into your items. Instead, the skill gems themselves have sockets, as you can see here, and there is a dedicated screen for socketing them. Jonathan's going to change his split arrow skill for Ice Shot, and we'll add some support gems to it. There are some really big advantages here. For one, every single item in Path of Exile 2 can be a 6-link. This is going to cause huge changes in how players design character builds. In the past, players didn't ever want to have more than one primary attack skill, because they could only have 1 or 2 6-links on a character at most. Now, it's totally viable to have multiple powerful primary attacks. The thing I'm really happy about though, is you don't have to screw around with your gems all the time when you're changing items. Check out this bow here. The socket colors you get still come from your items, but now every single bow that drops will have exactly 4 green sockets. This means that we can swap this bow for this other one we have found, and we don't have to mess around with our gems. As we swap between the bows, we can see at a glance all the DPS values for our skills updating. It's still possible to fine-tune socket colors on items when you need to, but because everything that drops has fixed sockets, it's way easier to just pick something up and put it on while leveling. For new players, another really great advantage is that it's now impossible to socket a support gem into a skill gem that it doesn't work with. For example, this multiple projectiles gem can't be socketed into Leap Slam, but you can see with all the highlighted sockets that it will work with the other bow skills. Some of you will be wondering about skills like auras. A lot of the time in the old skill system, you'd throw a few gems together in a 4-link with few or no support gems. How can you do that when you have a limited number of active skill slots? The answer is meta gems. Meta gems are like super support gems that let you put multiple actives into them. For example, we want to run a few different auras on this character. We can put this proficiency gem into the character and load it up with auras. It even lets you bind a single key to enable all of the auras at once. Trigger gems like Cast on Crit are also meta gems, so this means you can put an entire Cast on Crit setup into one gem as one of your 8 6-links.
Alright, so going back to what I was saying before, I noticed on the E, it looks like there is some type of transformation. That's what I'm really interested in with this new announcement. I want to know if it's a new class. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just a skill gem. But as far as right now, that makes it so much easier for new players.
One of the things we really wanted to improve in Path of Exile 2 was our lighting system. The new PBR rendering, in addition to a much more realistic light fall-off, makes this area look significantly more awesome than what we could possibly achieve in the past.
The moving animation just looks so much cleaner. I like it a lot. And since they mentioned you can use multiple skills now with that new system, oh, it's gonna make so many crazy builds with Headhunter that you could just literally just swap into anything when you go into a boss fight, which is really nice for quality of life. From previously requiring you to basically, I used to have 2 sets because when I played Delve, obviously it's not the best thing to go ahead and run Flicker Strike, right? When you go into the mines, you'll just teleport somewhere completely different, so I ended up going Cyclone.
Please make them stop. They're whispering. They're screaming. No, don't give in. You're not dead. You're still moving. You're still here.
One of the things that's really exciting about creating an entirely new campaign is that we get to apply all of our boss creation skills to early bosses as well. The first few acts of Path of Exile 1 have bosses that are some of the earliest content we ever made, and their age is really showing. This fight here is the same level as the Fairgroves fight in the original campaign, but it's a lot more advanced.
So I'm not sure if that's the same skill, but I'm pretty sure that's like, what, Siege Ballista, right? Guy needs to make use of that Quicksilver Flask.
Learn to let go of your burdens.
Okay. I hope we have, honestly, like, as far as microtransactions goes, I've wanted different hair microtransactions for so long. Hopefully they'll have it. I know it's just like a random thought. Because I know in some, like, ARPGs or MMOs, they allow you to, like, disable the helm so you can see your character's face. But I feel like the characters look a lot more attractive now. And since I do stream Diablo once in a while, and, like, I occasionally stream PoE, and for the Diablo viewers, sometimes they will always mention that the characters, they don't look attractive. And while I do have to agree with them on that, they look a lot better now in Path of Exile 2, that's for sure. And since it's, I want to say it might be a modified engine, it looks like...
So, here we are in the hunting grounds. Now, we're going to show you something that players have been requesting for a really long time. In Path of Exile 2, we finally have shapeshifting.
Oh yes, dude, this is what I wanted to see.
Each shapeshift form can use any regular Path of Exile attack that makes sense. Here on the werewolf, we're using Leap, Slam, and Cleave. One of the other things we thought that was really important with shapeshifting is that you could just change back and forth at any time. Walking around in the middle of a skill whenever, just hit the button and go.
I wonder if there's more than just like the werewolf here. So it doesn't reserve mana. I'm wondering like what it gives. Because I'm definitely going to be going for Flicker Strike, because that's pretty much what I usually build every single season. If they do like mouse over the shapeshifting skill,
One of the things you
I'll
can
pause
see in
it.
this area is the new grass tech that we have. It's done using pre-computed ray tracing. It's both way nicer looking and has better performance than what we used to have before.
But going back to like the whole new like gem system, I think it's going to be a little bit more friendly for some people that felt like Path of Exile was too complex or too confusing, especially with the new system where like you can't put in a support gem that wouldn't be actually working with the skill. Because I know that's a really hot topic on if you go into any Diablo forum, there's always someone that mentions PoE, right? And they're always saying, oh, I tried out the game, but it was too complex. And while I still think the game is complex, at least you can't put in something that doesn't actually work. Even though if you mouse over the gem, it usually tells you what it will work with. But I'm hoping they show off more shapeshifting abilities. So I think people will definitely have a drive to check out the game because of that. I was hoping we'd get a new class, but we may get new ascendancies. I don't know. There has to be like another huge factor to this game. I feel like the 7 acts, don't get me wrong, I'm still really hyped up about that, but I don't really care too much about the gameplay as much as I want to see the new gems. I want to see the new legendaries or uniques essentially in the game, and I want to see like the new systems versus just watching like the raw gameplay that's like more so uncut. Which I'm so glad that they're giving this a 15-minute showcase over here, because it's going to be really nice background footage for when we go ahead and talk about systems. I already know that one topic that I do want to cover is going to be like Diablo 4 versus PoE 2. I like how his name's Crowbell and he's got a giant bell. It's cool. I like it. One thing I'm hoping for is a better emphasis on team play in Path of Exile 2. And we'll see if they like mention anything on that because that was a very popular topic also. But since we're already like we're just watching the gameplay here, I'm curious to know what you guys think about it so far. So far, I mean, it's basically just PoE 1, but at the same time, we are getting a completely new expansion. I feel like the meta for a lot of different games now is just call it, instead of calling the game an expansion, just call it second one. Alright, what was that? Was that? Oh, that was it. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out here, and then, like I said, there is more stuff, and I want to check out this Metamorph trailer here because there might be some extra content. But so far, I like it. I really don't have any complaints.
Take a clean knife and cut a sample of flesh. Repeat. 4
Lucky strike
times.
backburn.
Mix the 5 samples in an aquaformatic solution. Heat. Stand back. The intrinsic darkness will make itself known. Observe its anger, its aggression. Observe its changing form. Never comfortable to stay in one shape for long. It will try to kill you. Best not let it. Plunge the clean knife repeatedly. Try more heat. More! Perfect. Only every living creature to go.
Metamorph? Okay. I guess that's going to be one of the new things. Okay.
Stand back.
And then also I want to check out the Conquerors of the Atlas here. Some of these are really short. And then I do want to briefly dip into the mobile game too. I actually did see that one on live stream, but I'll skim through it.
Listen carefully, for this is important. I worked with a group of exiles once, much like yourselves.
It's not looking good though.
Together, we faced a terrible evil that plagued the Atlas and threatened our world. Through great perseverance, we were able to defeat the Elder. But it wasn't enough. They kept going back. Over and over, again and again. There was something inside them that could never be satisfied. They sought more power, more prestige. They sought to rule and conquer those strange lands.
Ooh.
Each time they returned, I feared more and more what they were becoming. So I did what I thought was right. I sealed them in the Atlas. Forever. They found a way back.
I like that Dragon Portal MTX. New endgame story. Okay. Socket that. 4 new this type of support Gen Plus. Wait, what does this actually do? Okay, so Ancestral Call supports melee strike, causing them to also strike at extra targets simultaneously. The extra targets must be a minimum distance from the user. If supporting a minion attack, the minion's skills will not also strike extra targets. Cannot support triggered skills. Okay. New bow skills and supports. It's such a fast attack. Okay. December 13th. Okay, so Conquerors of the Atlas. All right, so we have a date at least now for that new content. But last thing, I did want to mention one thing really quick with the mobile. I don't really care too much about mobile games generally, but sometimes if there is a cool mobile game, you know, sometimes for a few minutes I'll hop on. But I love how they start off with Path of Exile mobile. Literally the first words out of their mouth, it's so good.
So mobile games are kind of bullshit, right? You know, pay to win microtransactions, time gates, energy bars, random nag screens, notifications, video ads. You know, you get the idea. There's really a lot of evil garbage going on in mobile games today. But in 2012, when you first released Path of Exile on PC, you really could have said the same thing about a lot of free-to-play games there too.
So this is what it looks like. There are 8 skill binds, 5 flasks, the same gear you'd expect to see on any Path of Exile game. One of the major benefits of this project was the tech we've developed. It's allowing us to improve our tools and engine and system across the board for all platforms. Our goal is to bring Path of Exile to mobile with absolutely zero compromise.
We wanted to make something that is a real Path of Exile game. We didn't just farm it out to an external studio. It's developed entirely by a team here in New Zealand.
That's 100% shots fired.
The only thing that's fundamentally different between phone games and PC games is that you expect to play for shorter game sessions on a phone. Maps are a perfect length to have the quick turnaround time required for mobile gameplay, while retaining all of the deep systems that Path of Exile players expect.
Back then, we really felt like we could do free-to-play on PC without all that player-hostile stuff. So we thought, you know, maybe we can do the same thing on mobile. Maybe we can make a game that bucks all those bullshit trends, and make it something that's a good game first, that just so happens to be played on a phone.
I think it looks pretty decent. I'm more curious if you can actually just play your full actual game, like your actual like PoE client that you could connect to like on Steam. Could you actually go ahead and actually play it on that? Dude, I had to give him a thumbs up on that. This is not a season April Fool's joke. There's so many memes in the comments of this video, and looking at the reception, people are quite pleased with it. But anyways, I kind of want to just rant and talk a little bit more about Path of Exile 2 over here. So here's what I think of it. I think it looks great. I'm sure probably on forums, or there might be another video that showed off some of the new systems and stuff. I'm really more interested in like, what are you not able to do when you actually transform with, I'm just going to call it Druid, because that's, I think, what most people are going to be calling it, like the transformation system. What other, you know, forms can you take? Is there like a bear? Is there any other types that you can swap into? What are the benefits? I don't know yet, but that's something I do want to go ahead and check out. But as far as I can tell, they've zoomed out a little bit more, and they've made the game look a lot nicer. And because there is a campaign, I feel like it's not like a lot of other games where they're just calling it like number 2 with just the expansion. This is like a massive, you know, it's 7 acts, and so for that, I'll give them credit, and I feel like they can slap a 2 on it without, I guess, too much, I wouldn't say backlash, but too many people saying, dude, it's just literally like an expansion. Which it technically is, but 7 acts is enough to consider it a completely new game, in my book at least. But like I said, I'm curious to know what you guys think of it down below. I'm looking forward to checking out the new league. As far as what they're adding and stuff, I don't know that info yet, but thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll be doing some research, and I'll be making some other videos. And if you guys have any suggestions or would like to see any video topics, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to cover it for you guys. But it's looking pretty good. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.